Most of this week we spent thinking about really what's inside students' heads. And it got me thinking about my own early experiences as a teacher. So as an undergraduate, really even a first-year undergraduate, I started doing peer tutoring in calculus. And so I spent those 4 years as an undergraduate working with other students who were struggling in calculus, working with them one-on-one to try to help them kind of resolve misconceptions and figure out how to do calculus. And I think it gave me a little insight into some of the more commonly held misconceptions about calculus and what students typically struggle with. So that when I finally got to teach my own course, I probably stood up at the front of the room and lectured more than I should have. But one thing I think I had going for me was that I had a reasonable sense of the kinds of misconceptions and struggles that students bring to the calculus classroom. And so I think that tutoring experience really informed what I was able to do as a teacher in that setting.
Well, Derek, not all of us have 4 years of tutoring experience to draw upon. So there's other ways that we can build that kind of expertise about our students' misconceptions and prior knowledge and experiences. And one good way to do that is to consult the discipline-based education research, at least for the more commonly taught large courses like chemistry, physics, math, and biology. On the other hand, it can be dangerous to assume that your students come to you with some set of prior experiences or misconceptions. And it is often a good idea to gather some data yourself through either a teaching as research project or through some kind of formative assessment, which we'll be talking about in later weeks. So it's good to keep that in mind.
Good point. In the meantime, we're going to continue next week looking at core principles of learning. We've got 2 more coming up next week. One is the really critical role of practice and feedback in the learning process. And the last one really moves us from the cognitive domain to what's called the affective domain. And we'll start to look at motivation and what role it plays in learning. So I look forward to continuing our exploration with you guys there.